Wow, this is a room full of heroes. And that's why the province of Manitoba, the citizens of Manitoba, want to say thank you. When I think of heroes, I think of people who run towards the danger while the rest of us are running away. And on that fateful day, that's what you folks did. And part of the reason why we wanted to gather and pay tribute is that I know not only did you go above and beyond, not only did you save lives, not only did you have each other's backs, I know that I can only imagine that you took some stuff home with you that day as well too. I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge the families who lost loved ones, survivor, and everyone really affected directly and through family and friend connections. It was a terrible tragedy. We've had the opportunity to gather in Dauphin. I know many of you were there to pay tribute to them. We did so as well in Carberry. And I want to thank the municipal and community people who came together to make those amazing monuments and memorials so that we never forget the people that were lost and the impacts on our fellow Manitobans. But I thought it was important for us to also take a moment to acknowledge you and to express our gratitude and to express our support on an ongoing basis for each and every one of you. First started thinking about this more than a year ago when we visited Dauphin for the memorial that happened in the immediate aftermath of the tragedy. There were a number of faith leaders who prayed on that day. And while respecting the privacy of the person that I had a very memorable interaction with, I could tell you that while we were visiting there, I shook hands with a group of firefighters, first responders from Carberry, and for whatever reason, while I was shaking one gentleman's hand, we just kind of locked eyes, and without going into too much detail, we had a bit of a moment there. And that's what reminded me that the work that you put in each and every day, all of us are human. You can't help but being affected by that. And so we're going to be there with the supports, with the mental health, with the resources, with everything that you need to be able to continue doing your jobs the best way that you can. For those of you who volunteer, that you be able to continue to serve in that function to the best of your capacity. But the province of Manitoba owes you a tremendous debt of gratitude. And we had to do something public to acknowledge the significance of what you did. And so I hope that as you're on your own journeys to process and to heal and to reflect on what you have done to serve your fellow Manitobans, may this be some measure of encouragement and reassurance for you, that your good deeds do not go unnoticed. And in fact, we valorize them, we uplift them. And on behalf of the people of Manitoba, what you did that day represents the best of this province. Stepping into action without second thought, running into a situation where you didn't necessarily know all the parameters of what you were dealing with, and putting the collective good ahead of your own personal considerations. To me, that represents the best of what Manitoba and indeed Canada are all about. I also want to share with you that this is my first time awarding the Order of the Buffalo Hunt. And I can think of no better group of people to acknowledge than you folks. And as we started to discuss, again with some of the firefighters and first responders from Carberry and Neepawa, I think were some of the first conversations we had with, I want to share to everybody here in the room here that their immediate response when we said we wanted to do something to acknowledge, they said, okay, but you have to include the RCMP. You have to include STARS. You have to include the paramedics. You have to include the people who work for Prairie Mountain and the people who work for Shared Health. Because we didn't do this alone. This was a team effort. So even when it was time to say thanks, there was that same attitude of humility and wanting to make sure that everyone on the team got their due. And so when I said at the start, this is a room full of heroes, I mean that with the utmost of sincerity. Me and the rest of the people of this province stand in awe of what you do on a given day. And this is our turn to say thank you. And thank you so much for your service. Thank you for indulging us today and helping to honor you in this auspicious occasion. And most of all, on behalf of everyone with a beating heart, we really appreciate the sacrifice and the toll that you're willing to put in to serve the idea of something greater than yourselves. So miigwech, merci, and thank you very much.